Greetings, everyone. This is Mustafaa, your digital marketing specialist, the founder of the Digital Domination Tribe, representing the team, representing the merch today. I'm coming at you with a video on this Monday, just to get back into the swing of things. Kind of been hit and missing here lately. Still an employee, transitioning to this entrepreneurship, this digital domination path. Also, a college student working to complete courses, also a parent, also a human being. So, just a lot of things in the mix, and sometimes things get left out. And this content, video content, has been one of those things that have been left out. So, but I have a solution to that. I just have to practice what I preach about batch creating my content and finding those pockets of time to be able to create the content so that you have a consistent flow throughout the week. So learn from me, let that be a lesson for you that there's 168 hours in a week, and sometimes life be life, and then sometimes creating content may be the last thing on the list, and sometimes it just doesn't get done. But if we commit to one good day out of the week, we can really batch create a lot of content over an hour or 2 hours span of time, and then we can sprinkle that content throughout the rest of the week. And regardless of life being life, and meaning, maybe we had to work a little extra and we're just really drained and tired. Maybe the children got homework, and they have their needs and need to be attended to. Maybe you just got ill that week or for a couple of days, or maybe you have some parents you're taking care of. You have to take care of their realities, or just so many things that come at us. But if we batch create in advance and set up the automations that the modern digital tools allow us, then we can sprinkle our content throughout the week, and then we never miss a beat regardless to when life be life. And so I teach that, and I do practice that for the most part, but just these last couple of weeks have really been a little bit more chaotic and draining of me energy wise than normally would. So I have not been able to keep up with my practices. But again, learn from me, do better than me, and digital going to dominate digitally. In this video on this Monday, I want to not be long, but I just want to remind you of the power that you have as a content creator on these digital landscapes, on these digital platforms, that you literally have the power to determine your digital future. Back in the day, you know, even as recently as 10 years ago, definitely 20 and 30 years ago, I want to go through a few industries and speak of how the digital tools and digital landscape has really leveled the playing field for someone who wants to step into their digital greatness, the digital domination era, and really make their mark. That conditions are so much in your favor right now, it's not even funny. So let's start with the music industry. I have several friends, people I know, family members who are working and trying to get into the music industry. Well, not necessarily get in mute, but are musically inclined. I'll say it like that. They're musically inclined, and they are working to get their music out. You know, in the 80s and the 90s, there was no internet as we understand internet today. There was no YouTube. There was no streaming like we understand it today. There was no social media like we understand it today. So back in those times, definitely the 80s, the 90s, the internet started becoming a thing, but it wasn't this Web 2.0 experience. That if you were musically inclined and you decided to go the independent route, or you was just trying to get discovered, and you had a demo tape, or you even cut an album independently created, there was not a lot of outlets back then for you to really get your music heard. You couldn't just drop your album on iTunes or drop your album, on a streaming platform and have potentially hundreds of thousands of millions of people hear you from coast to coast worldwide. You didn't have that option. You was selling records out of your trunk. You was selling records at the flea market. You was selling records, here and there, everywhere. But you were still limited to your small area, your city, or maybe, that certain part of your state, maybe a few cities over, but you were limited to locally or just a few cities in your particular area. And it was a struggle to get discovered, and the record companies had all of the control. They had the marketing, they had the promotion, they had the public relations. Everything was on their side. And a lot of artists got took advantage because of that, unfortunately. But we live in this era now, this digital era, this digital landscape and digital platform era, where you literally can be an independent artist and you can shine and nearly hang with the big boys as far as being able to get your name out there. Like before, you know, if you didn't go through the major media channels like MTV, VH1, BET, you were not going to get a music video out there. You know what I'm saying? You was not going to get a music video out there. But now today, if you got the money and you got the connections and you can get somebody to record a music video for you in your local city, you can put that thing on YouTube. You can put that thing on Facebook. You can chop it up and put it on TikTok. You can chop it up and put it on Instagram. You can make shorts out of it. And you're not limited to your little demographic of your city. Your video can be seen in California and you live in Florida. Your video can be seen in New Orleans and you stay in New York. You can get yourself out there more than ever. You can drop a whole album and stream that album, and people can hear and buy and fall in love with that album, regardless of where you live at. So, a person who's musically inclined, there's so many opportunities for you today to really get out there. You don't have to be a slave to these record companies or kiss rings or go through these gatekeepers and hoping that they hear your demo and da da da. And I'm not denouncing or speaking against people getting traditional record contracts. If that's something that you desire and if that's something that you can gain, then, I'm not saying don't do that. Make sure you got a good lawyer. Make sure, you learn the business side of music and not just the entertainment side of music. But I am saying that there's so much more power that's shifting your way as an independent artist that you can get your music out there and make a name for yourself. I mean, it ain't nothing to set up a social media account, Facebook, TikTok, Insta, Twitter X, so on and so on, and build a following unto yourself just as an artist. Before a record company can discover you, you can have a social media following of thousands, if not millions, of people. And then when you drop your music, drop your videos, drop your stuff, you already got a built-in audience already know, like, and trust you. So you may not need a record company at that point because you already got your audience. And then if you decide to go with a record company, then you have greater leverage to go because you have a following, you have a platform, you have proven you know how to, get your stuff out there independently. Then you can negotiate a contract from a stronger position, not a needy position. So a lot of power today, family. A lot of power. So that's just one example, and I really ran with that example a lot to kind of really touch on everything I wanted to talk about. Is that those gatekeepers of the past, you can bypass a lot of that as an independent artist. Les Brown, who is someone that I look up to and someone that I learn a lot from and someone who inspires me, as he does thousands of people across the globe. But Les Brown says when he started public speaking um, back in the 80s, he used to have cassette tapes of his messages, and he used to put the cassette tapes together and wrap some paper around them, gets the information on what the tape was about and who, the name of the deliverer of the message, and he would put rubber bands around those little tapes, and he would pass those tapes out and sell those tapes. You know, he was struggling trying to get himself established as a motivational speaker. This was 40 something years ago in the 80s, how he had to go about establish himself. But if you're a motivational speaker or a person who speaks on a particular subject or a niche, you don't have to go around with cassette tapes with paper wrapped around them and rubber bands anymore. You can get on YouTube and you can decide 3 times a week, or Instagram or TikTok, and you decide that 3 times a week I'm gonna come on and I'm gonna give people some motivational juice. I'm gonna give them some motivational words. I'm gonna give them a checkup from the neck up. I'm gonna give them information to contribute to their understanding of themselves. And you keep doing this over and over and over, and you will begin to build an audience for yourself because everybody needs motivation. Everybody wants to hear a word that has up thoughts for down times. Everyone wants to hear something that will let them know it's not over until you win. And I'm using some of the famous wording of Les Brown in me saying those things, but everyone needs some type of message to let them know that they can be a champion. They can come back from defeat. They can come back when it's the 12th round in a fight and they've been knocked down every other round prior, and even a corner man and gave up on it. The voice within them and tell them you're never going to win. But you have a motivational speaker that comes in your ear and tells you, get up, champ. It's the 12th round. I know you done lost it all, but it ain't over till you win. Come on, just throw them arms. Throw them hands. Come on, just move around. Dance. Move, champ. Move, champ. And then that motivational word makes you dig into the champion within yourself, and you come back and beat a guy that beat your behind for 11 rounds. That's because of motivation. Made you shift your thinking and do things differently. So if you decide to be a motivational speaker, you don't have to sell. You don't have to go around with cassette tapes and begging these gatekeepers to hear you and see you and give you a speaking stage. Everyone has a speaking stage today, whether that speaking stage is on YouTube, whether that speaking stage is on TikTok, whether that speaking stage is on Instagram, whether that speaking stage is you going live on Facebook or social media platforms 2-3 times a week. You have a stage today. And over time, you will build an audience of people who look forward to you for your motivational words and your information, motivational content. And again, they know, like, and trust you. And at some point of you doing this, you will attract those gatekeepers and those decision makers who see you, excuse me, and they say, hey, I want you at our next event. Can you come speak here? Can you come speak there? Here's a check. Here's what we're willing. This is what we're willing to can pay. This is our budget. Is that cool with you? And you didn't go chasing opportunity. Opportunity started to chase you now because you utilize digital tools, the digital landscape, and you use these platforms to amplify your voice and make yourself known. So just using those two examples, and there's so many other examples I can do from different genres. If you're into exercise, and if you're into health and nutrition, a dietitian, you can use the same strategies that I'm saying to just start talking about what you know and what you're passionate about and what connects with and helps other people, and use those platforms to amplify your voice and be helpful to people. Just show up and start helping people. Help people with their nutrition. Help people with their food planning. Help people to plan easy, easy, easy meal prep, excuse me, in 15-20 minutes. And people will love you for that, considering how busy every day everybody is now, working or working 2 jobs or going to school and dealing with children, rush hour traffic trying to get home, and and this person coming online and telling me how to create a meal in 15, 20 minutes and it's healthy, so I don't have to try to rush off to McDonald's or Taco Bell or some other fast food place because I just literally don't have the time to prepare healthy nutritional meals throughout the week. That you will be a godsend to people like that. They will tune in to hear your content. So that's just another example, in the health and wellness space. You can show up and provide value to people in that space and build an audience for yourself. And then you can publish a book for yourself. And then you can start speaking on that particular subject. And you just build yourself up. But the point that I'm getting at using these different areas as examples is that gone are those days of you having to chase gatekeepers and kiss rings and bow down. You can be independent in your own space and you can build from your own space and you can be great in your own space. You have what it takes to win today. You have the digital landscape, you have digital tools, you got a smartphone. Even if you don't have a laptop or a tablet, you have a modern day smartphone. And this modern day smartphone, turn on, this modern day smartphone has all of the tools and then some that you need to get out here. This smartphone right here will connect you to every major social media platform and allow you to post several times a week if you so desire. This smartphone right here has video recording capabilities. You don't need a video recorder. You have a smartphone, you can turn it to you like this, or you can put it on a tripod, or you can put it on something, and you can hit record and you can start recording yourself talking multiple times a week. This smartphone also has audio recording capabilities. If you're not secure and comfortable with putting your face on video, you don't have to put your face on video. There are so many people who are creating faceless accounts and faceless YouTube channels and faceless TikTok channels. All you need is your voice. So you don't have to record video. You just need a good voice, and you hit record and record your voice, and then you edit it and upload it to a podcast, or upload it and put some video and put some images connected to it, and you got a faceless audio or video now going. Possibilities. You can start selling merch through the smartphone. You can start consulting through the smartphone. You can talk to people through Zoom through the smartphone. You can produce and share your music through this smartphone. You can be a motivational speaker through this smartphone. You can be a provider of nutrition and dietitian and knowledge like that through this smartphone. You can do it all through this smartphone. It's like a dog commercial. But I just wanted to give you this video today. If you're in any of those niches that I discussed, or a niche that I did not discuss, if you're interested in educating children and inspiring children, like a Mr. Rogers back in the day. Mr. Rogers was known for loving children and just providing content to children to help build them up. Or LeVar Burton with Reading Rainbow. What if you have a love for children and their educational development and personal development, and you come on as a creator providing information to young children or parents of young children about how to enrich their children? You don't think they're not gonna love you? They're gonna love you, and they're gonna tune into your content, and they're gonna tell 2 or 3 friends about your content. So I just wanted to give you these things to inspire you to take charge of your digital destiny. Don't wait for the gatekeepers. Don't wait for somebody to save you. Don't wait for somebody to discover you. You be you. You be great in being you. And you step onto the stage as you. And your tribe is out there. They're waiting on you. They're waiting on you right now. They're looking for somebody to tell them what you have sitting in your head right now. They're waiting on you. So don't sleep on these digital platforms, the digital landscape. Don't sleep on these digital tools. Don't sleep on your smartphone. Use it for more than keeping up with celebrity gossip, fight videos, and other type of stuff that they feed us on these social platforms. But use it for your benefit and to make yourself known, liked, and trusted. So this is Mustafaa, your digital marketing specialist, founder of the Digital Domination Tribe. I'm always rocking my merch to remind us that we are on these platforms, not to be consumers necessarily all the time, but we are here to digitally dominate, and we're here to contribute and to give and to add our knowledge, our expertise, our skills, and our experience. So check me out at digitalmarketingwithmustafaa.com. That's digitalmarketingwithmustafaa.com. That's my one-stop shop website where you will get connected to my books, you'll get connected to my ebooks, you'll get connected to my podcast, my blog, writings, free downloadable information that I have. You can consult with me one to one. We can continue this conversation in a personal manner where I can hear your problems and advise a course that will directly lead to your success and putting yourself out there. I'd be more than happy to have that one-on-one conversation with you. You can go to digitalmarketingwithmustafaa.com to book a session of your own and talk to me one-on-one, and I will give you the bang for your buck. All right? So it's been good hanging out with you for these 21 going on 22 minutes, and I look forward to talking to you again later in this week. Take care. Peace.